another edition of The Naked Truth. I'm Ramon and
John Singletary.
And we are back. It's been a long time, John.
Yeah, I had to take a little hiatus.
We had to take a little hiatus. It was important for us to get out. One of the things that judicial freedom writers, that we knew that politics played a significant role, a pivotal role in not only our justice but even our economy.
Absolutely right.
And John stepped up to the plate, running for mayor of North Charleston, and we ran one heck of a race. And but you know what, John? Though the election is over, the campaign is not over.
It's still going on.
Still going on.
Absolutely right.
And from that, we formed the group called Concerned Citizens Alliance, and we'll be talking about that in another video. But those are the reasons why we were gone for, since I think our last video was in May of last year. Last year. But we ran one heck of a campaign, and but what was important was that you have to, in order for you to see change in your community, you must be involved politically. When we refuse to vote, you actually are part of the problem. When you say, I'm not going to vote, you are part of the problem. John?
Well, as you said, the campaign went well. We had some significant changes in North Charleston. The mayor's position was not one of them, but we had two new people to come on council.
Right.
The campaign went well. We had two great campaign managers, yourself and my brother Larry. We had about a little over 3,000 new people to come out and vote. We had 8,000 people who were denied the right to vote. And as you said, out of that campaign came the Concerned Citizens Alliance, and their mission is simply to advocate and protect citizens through information, education, economic empowerment, and action. So we felt that action was one of the things that we had to do, and to impact your community, particularly on a local level, then you have to get involved. The motto of the organization is simply, local politics makes a difference. And so we have to get out and get involved in the process. So many new things came about. The understanding of the term municipal underbounding, which we had no idea until we started looking into some things, that there was a nationwide epidemic of using annexation in order to deny the right to vote. That's a major thing. We started looking at some of the research done on annexation, and all across the country they're telling you that your property taxes are going to increase. Well, that's only one thing that's affected by annexation. You have other assessments and fees that are affected, and the net result is always going to be that you will end up paying less in taxes than more on the whole. And so the major difference with that is that with annexation, you have the right to vote. Need to just think about it. If the mayor wants to vote to be annexed in, and his friends and family want to be annexed in, why is it that he wants annexation for himself so bad, but then when it comes to us, he tells us, well, your property tax will increase a little bit, you don't want annexation, it's a bad thing. It is the vote that he's looking at.
Right. Yeah. Now, one thing about this campaign, that it was always been about educating the voter. When there's a scripture that says that my people perish for a lack of knowledge. That's right. And so when you're realizing, when you think about what John just said there about annexation, and the fear is that your taxes are going to go up. But we don't tell you the reality of the truth of the matter is your taxes will go down overall. Your property taxes may go up, but your overall taxes are going to go down. And so what they played upon those people's fear, and in order to get them out of being able to vote. And the vote was critical. When we're looking at a budget of $115 million, $66 million, I believe, in wages and salaries, when we only get 15% of that. That's what, $10 million, something like that?
But we're 50% of
the population. And when it comes down to city contracts, again, we are getting just a taste of it. I mean, we get like $2 million of, I think it was
67 million last year in 2015. We get 2014, it was 40 million.
We get 4%. So why in the world that African Americans not voting or denied the right to vote, which we learned that 8,000 were denied the right to vote through annexation through this device called municipal underbounding. So what came out of the campaign was that we were able to inform many people. Like John said, 3,000 more voted that never voted before. We had a young man, our brother, who had voted for the first time in his life, was voted for you.
We now have a clearer picture of what is necessary in order to be successful at running for the position of mayor. But as you said, we had over 3,000 people who never voted before to come out and actually vote. 5,600 African Americans actually voted in the previous election. We had roughly 2,000 who we did not get to educate before they got to the polls last time.
Right.
Because we had 2,000 African Americans who were predominantly Democrat to vote for a white Republican who then came out and endorsed Donald Trump. And now makes no bones about the fact that that is his choice and that he's not backing down on it. He then also came out after the election, said that there would be retribution. Threatening the citizens because they finally started to get together and understand what it takes to protect their community. So we got 2,000 that we still have to educate, and then there's some others because we've got a total of 66,000 people who are registered to vote in North Charleston. Only 53 in the local election because the balance of them cannot because of the annexation. And out of that 53,000, we only had 5,600 or 11,000 to vote total, but 5,600 African Americans. So this was probably one of the first times that we had a situation where we had the majority of the vote coming from the African American community.
Right. I mean, it was we informed a million people. A lot of people, the numbers that we gave you about the salaries, they didn't know. About the contracts, they didn't know. We have a lot of businessmen that they can't get contracts in this city.
That's right.
And one of the examples that we looked at was Marion Barry in Washington D.C. When he became mayor, he made black millionaires because he allowed them access fairly to the contract.
Absolutely.
Contract. So again, look, we're back, and we're going to continue shooting videos to you. And we do apologize for our delay, but believe me, we weren't just sitting around twiddling our thumbs or sitting on the beach in the Dominican Republic. Not that I don't mind going to the Dominican Republic, drinking non-alcoholic beverages for myself. But we're back, and we're going to continue to be vocal and continue to inform our listening audience. But it was a wonderful ride for us for those last few months. But we're back, and we're back to stay. What do you think, John?
Well, as you said, we're back. We're going to be bringing you some good stuff. We're back in the saddle for bringing you the information to educate you on what's going on in this community as well as what's probably going on in your community. We were able to get on a few radio talk shows and talk to people all around the country who, after they started looking into the municipal underbounding, called back and said, I just cannot believe the exact same thing is going on right here under our noses, and we had no idea.
No idea.
Google that term, municipal underbounding, and look it up and read. It will blow your mind. But we got some other good things.
Yeah. Before we close, please subscribe to this channel. Also, stay tuned because if you'd like to be a member of the Concerned Citizen Alliance, we will have a way of for you to do that as well very, very soon. Again, we thank you for listening and watching another edition of